when we were out with the car jumping it, we blew 2 tires, both of which happen to be basically sidewall cuts. This is by far the worst, and it's right there, nice slit, as a backed over TV screen, I believe. So in a regular application, do not repair sidewall cuts. Just don't do it. This application, however, I'm probably gonna do it anyways. The tires are trash, the car is trash. What do I got to lose? But remember, regular application, do not patch, unless you're talking low-speed agricultural tires, do not patch sidewalls. Okay, so here is the tire off the jump car. This is the second tire here, and I need to go ahead and break it down. This is it says Firestone, but I believe it's a Coates tire changing machine, and I bought this from a service station that was defunct, and it has had the piss beat out of it. However, when it comes to changing tires, even with a cranky old machine versus doing it by hand, this is God's gift right here. The angels sing and the heavens part, and the light shines down upon ye, because holy crap, does it make your life easy. So the machine ain't perfect. I've had to piece her back together like most of the stuff I own, and it seems to be in various states of disrepair as I fix what needs to be fixed at any given moment. But first we need to clamp the tire down, and then we'll pop it with the shoe there. So this is the big screw that clamps down. Now with larger wheels, this fits inside. These small wheels, it really doesn't. Cut your tightener down, and then you take the tire iron, give her a whack or two. Now down in here, you've got the actual bar that pushes against the rim, and then this one here separates the two, and it's adjusted by a series of wedges that you slip in back here. Now this machine has been so hardly ridden, as it were, that a lot of that doesn't work. You can see what's left of some of the wedges, and different size rims will use different size wedges, but many times what I just have to do is stick a bar down in there and kind of lever it up until I hit the sweet spot, and then stomp on the pedal and make her go. But we'll see if we can pop her without any help. And there she is. Broke loose. The part of my machine that's most beat up is the top brake. In fact, when I do large truck tires, I almost always have to brake the backside, flip the tire over, brake the front, flip the tire back over, take it off. So this may or may not work here with the car tire. As to why it doesn't work properly, you know what, I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not entirely sure we'll get parts for it, or if it's worth even messing with. But basically, now this is going to drop down, and you can see how it didn't grab the lip. So now I'll try to work it in there deeper and do it again. And this is going to require putting the camera down. So it took a little rough treatment, but I was able to get her to brake from the top. And then now you see that the tire is basically loose the rest of the way around. Okay, to get the tire the rest of the way off, lubricate around the edge with your rubber lubricant, and then you shove the tire iron bar behind the tire, and then you lever it up and over so it locks in up top. Then you push down over here. That puts the tire inside this deep part of the rim, which gives it enough extra sideways movement to get the lip up and over. To get it the rest of the way off, it's pretty simple. You go down behind the inside bead, you lift the whole tire up, over the top, and like butter. In a proper application, you want to take all the wheel weights off, but given this and what we're doing with it, remember, I just don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this jig, which is basically a tire spreader. Okay, so you hook it on one side, You grab it on the other, and then when you pull, she opens up so that you can get at the tire on the inside. Now, the reason why you don't generally patch a sidewall is because there's so much flexing going on, it tends to generate a lot of heat and your patches tend to fail. And of course that can lead to sort of catastrophic tire failure. So once again, please, don't patch sidewalls unless you're talking low-speed agricultural. In that case, hell, wind it together with a bit of wire, almost like you're sewing, patch on top of the wire. Because let's face it, the tires are trash, you might as well get as much out of them as you can. On this tire, the sidewall cut is a really massive slit. Now, I'm sorry if I'm beating a dead horse. Don't repair sidewall cuts. Just remember what I'm doing with this tire, and the fact that it has no street life, and you know, she's going out in a blaze of glory. So I'm only repairing this because I haven't got another 14-inch on hand that fits the stupid thing. So again, please, in your own applications, don't do something like that. Put it on the road and then drive your wife and kids around, because just don't. Alright, so now I have it gooped up with my rubber cement. I just use the Napa stuff, and then I use these radial patches. Again, they're just whatever the Napa house brand is, and they have a sticker covering basically rubber contact cement. So you gotta let that stuff dry. More than once I've hit it with a propane torch to dry it out when I'm in a bit of a hurry. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not recommending you do that. I'm just telling you I've done it a lot, and they always seem to work fine. But I guess don't. Anyways, I'll put this patch on there. If I'm totally honest, I haven't ground that enough. I just hit it with some sandpaper. You'd probably want to smooth it out a little bit more. You know what, and that'll work. I didn't do a very clean job, but then I'm not trying very hard. So what you're trying to remove is this smooth, pebbly surface. Get down to some good old-fashioned rubber so that your contact cement, your rubber cement, has something to bite to. Okay, so there she is stuck on there. Now it needs to be knurled, that is, pressed hard and tight to all the different surfaces down there. And they sell a tool, it looks like a whole row of spur rolls, little sharp spiny things, and you roll it back and forth. But I've had just as much success with the backside of a screwdriver. And you just work her on, just work it in there. That's what she said. And seems to work fine. To get the tire back on the rim, lube up both sides. You sort of put it below the rim, and with your hips you kind of shove her up into place, and you just work it down on there, and it will go on the rim. I can't do it holding the camera in my hand, so I guess at this point you'll just have to trust me. But it should go on the rim with little or no levering of any kind. So now you've got the one side. You pull it up and in, and you hook that back side lip in the deepest part of the car rim. Then you use this part of the tire tool up and in, and then as you rotate it around, and I'm going to try to do this one-handed, hope it doesn't come off. As you rotate it around, you've got to shove one of the tire sides down in. So obviously she popped off, but you get the same basic idea. And that's it. There's the whole deal. Before you inflate, crack the center ring loose so that as the tire pops on the bead, it doesn't try to jump off the machine there or put a lot of tension on this. And you are done. Air it up, balance it, and you go on your way. Back for some more jumping. Okay, so it has this air tool, and then I've got this pedal down here. Halfway down, puts air into the tire, all the way down, sends a blast of air up behind the tire to help seat the bead. Now, I'm actually shooting for 45 psi. There's about a 10 pressure overpressure on the tire according to the sidewall. And that's just to give her a little more support when she comes down for a landing. Not that I'm recommending that you overpressure your own tires. In fact, I'm recommending you don't. I'm just telling you what I did.